This isn't gonna work well.
It's fun.
I am standing in the place where my model railroad used to be. I had to dismantle it so we could build a new one in a new place, and I'd like to invite you to join me on that journey right now. Hey, thank you for joining me today on It's My Railroad. This show is dedicated to just regular people trying to build their model railroads, because quite frankly, I'm just a regular person trying to build my model railroad. But I gotta tell you, have a lot of fun here, hanging out as a community, learning some stuff from each other. So if you're into that sort of thing, why not just subscribe and then go ahead and push that little bell icon so you can catch future videos. So if you've been following along in our series, you know that we recently started the expansion for a second deck on the Brown-Smith Railroad right after finishing this beautiful logging camp project we did. That logging camp used to sit right here, by the way. There's no logging camp there now. Anyway, right in the middle of that expansion, right in the middle of season 2, boom, bought a new place to live. I had to tear down the layout. We're moving it over there, gonna build something brand new. Now, many of you have asked me to chronicle that, to document that, to video that as I'm doing it. And I've done just that. And I've tried to cut it together in such a way where it's kind of entertaining, not so boring watching me pull screws out of the wall or something, but I think we're gonna have some fun with it. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. I made a reference to season 2. This episode, next episode, boom, we're done with season 2. Season 2 was kind of a bust because we never ever finished anything, did we? But season 3 starts 3 weeks from the making of this video. Season 3 begins with the track plan, some automation ideas I have, building some walls, bench work, yada, yada, yada. From then on out, we're gonna build a full-blown layout and have a lot of fun doing it, I hope. Speaking of the ending of one season and the beginning of another, because I just like to feel like a big shot by saying that, I'm wondering if you wouldn't mind just putting down in the comments, what was your favorite It's My Railroad episode or favorite It's My Railroad moment? Sidetracked, It's My Railroad, track smack. Just throw that down in the comments. A lot of you have been talking about that lately with me privately and in the comments. And I think it'd just be fun to share those experiences together. So if you do that, I'd sure appreciate it. I know I haven't been so great at responding to comments lately, but I've been a little preoccupied. And hopefully, when I move actually out of this house a week from today, hopefully we'll be able to get back on track with that. So anyway, like I said, documented this journey I'm on. I want to invite you to join me on this model railroad journey starting right now. All right, rail fans, well, the day has finally come and we're gonna tear this thing down and get it out of here. If I sound a little tired, I am a little tired. That's just the way it is. And since we're tearing all this out, you're gonna notice that sound may not be ideal. Lighting may not be ideal, at least not what you guys are accustomed to seeing, because, well, it's all being torn out. So anyway, I'm just gonna start tearing all this out. I'll narrate what I can. I don't know how exciting it's gonna be to watch me pull crap off the shelves, but I'm just gonna get on it, and then slowly but surely we're gonna see this thing coming down. This is some studio gear that we're not going to be using because we're moving. We'll just get that out of the way for right now. DS64s, things like that. We'll use those eventually. You guys saw this fall off, right? It scared the crap out of me. Got me some tortoise switch motors from Midwest Model Railroad. Got me some lots of fiber optic stuff. Can't use it for a while. Whatever. Caulking. Disco party lights, because the wife and I did a karaoke night with disco party lights. Tons of fun. Links in the description somewhere. Empty box. Lots of turnouts. Well, it's a little dark out right now, but that's how this is going. Almost dropped these. By the way, it's November 14th. I'm barefoot with shorts on. You gotta love it. Well, that's everything that was on the shelves. Let's go back inside, take the lighting down, take the shelves down. Just as a quick reminder, all this lighting that I'm taking down, this track lighting, gonna be replaced in the new place. Drop fluorescence over the main floor, LEDs lighting up the layout. We're gonna go kind of high tech on the deal. But then again, it's my railroad, so that's what we're gonna do. Back to lighting. And now we'll take some shelves down, I think. So I got all the screws out of all the shelves, and it suddenly occurred to me, when I first put these shelves up, it was actually to support the lighting, but I was really excited because I had a place to store crap. And then I outgrew it, because that's how it works with me. So in the new place, gonna have a lot more storage, but even still, a little melancholy taking these shelves down. I'm going to go have dinner with my wife right now. When I come back, we're gonna pull those down. We'll see you then. Well, dinner was good, but now it's time to get back to work. Gonna take these shelves down. So I got the top shelf down, got the brackets off the wall, and it's being about 8 o'clock at night here right now, but we still have work to do this evening. I think what I'd like to do now is to try to go ahead and pull these backdrops out. If you've been with us for a while, you know that I kind of had to put those in and slide them here and there because the shelves were in the way. Now that the shelves aren't there, I'm really hoping I can just yank those things right out from behind the layout. And something to keep in mind, none of these things are really usable at the new place in their state because I'm gonna have one long piece that I'm gonna patch and stuff. It's gonna look really pretty when we're done. But this tempered hardwood has all kinds of uses for different things we're gonna do on the layout. So I'm not gonna throw it away necessarily. I'm just gonna stack it up and put it in a corner. So let's see if we can just pull one of these things out, huh? And, well, I guess we can. I'm gonna get the rest of these out of here right now. You kind of see here what we covered up with that. That's my original backdrop. I just painted on with some blue paint. And I did that before I raised the layout about that far, and I was never able to raise the backdrop. But again, new place, beautiful backdrop. That's the plan anyway. Let's continue to take this thing down, and then we'll start taking the structures off. Well, it's getting more and more naked in here. I don't know. I'm not certain we can get anything else done tonight. I'm a little tired and I've been working a full day. Made a lot of progress. The next step's going to be to take the structures off and then to see about cutting this thing up. So that might do it for right now. All right, guys, so this is the current state of the hobby room for tonight's work of getting rid of the structures and maybe tearing down the top deck. It's kind of small in here. I got laundry everywhere and still haven't unpacked from my trip to Maui. All right, it's Friday night, November 16th, and I've worked a full day of work. Normally like to relax and get ready for tomorrow's episode of Track Smack, but instead, we're going to tear the layout down a little bit further, and we're going to take the structures off beginning back here at Brownsville. So some of these structures, I mean, we really want to save somewhere. This is a merchant row that I kit bashed from a number of different structures I had laying around. I just wanted to take a shot at it. It's okay. It's not perfect. I think I've got the skill now to do something a little better. We're just gonna put it away for now. This is a unfinished creamery right here. Shipping dairy products from Switch Junction to Brownsville. We'll see how that goes at the new place. Right here, this is my scratch built, or beginning of a scratch built sawmill that I did. Actually, it's part of a JV Models kit, but I weathered it and beat up on it. It was kind of fun. So I'll put this in the box. Of course, the old shed for the 2-truck shay. All this stuff right here, this is the beginning of a junkyard that I was making. That's kind of cobbled together from an old caboose and a box car. Maybe we'll see if we can find a place to put that. And of course, I took an ice plant and modified it, added all this to it. This was the sort of frozen, I don't know, refrigerated goods place. It's still a decent structure. We'll probably repurpose that for something. This at one point was the furniture plant, then it was a warehouse, then it was maybe going to be a sawmill. I have no idea what it is, and that was just barely glued on there as the power plant for it. I'm just trying to stack this stuff in here neat enough where I can pack some stuff around it and hope nothing gets destroyed. This is a throwaway building. It was just a background building that I scratch built and then sort of made it really dark, almost like it had been sitting there unoccupied for years. These backdrop buildings back here, I kept moving these around and moving these around. I made that. That's the actual full building I cut down. This one right here, that's part of a power plant. I just cut it down, made a flat out of it. I've been moving these around for years. They never actually ever found a permanent home. And then things like trees. Luckily, I didn't glue all these down, but some just got glued down when I did scenery materials. I guess they're pulling out okay. Okay, this one we're gonna have to pack with extra special care. This is the my coal trestle. Now, I'm not exactly certain where I'm gonna be able to fit this in the new place, but I gotta tell you, all those details with the cables and the doors and everything, I just need to make sure I don't get this one damaged. Here's another key structure for me. I scratch built this back in the day. It's one of the first structures I did, and was really happy with it. I weathered it all like that, and it's missing a couple of the people that were on there. Just through all the times I've rebuilt Switch Junction, I kind of got screwed up. But another one that we'll find someplace on the new layout, even if it's in an abandoned town somewhere. When you're proud of something, you're proud of something. So we're going to see what we can do with this. Well, I got everything I could off the top of this deck right here. And you know, it's kind of weird. It hasn't looked like this in longer than I can remember. It's just, it's kind of naked. Some of the things I don't think I ever showed you, and since it's going to go bye-bye, I just kind of like to show it to you before we go. This part of the port, as you can imagine, I spent a great deal of time on that. I cut out all those sticks and I glued them on there, and then, you know, I put this sort of mossy effect on there, and you know, and then over here I started making these I don't know what you call them, these posts here with the rope around them to keep the barges from slamming into the dock. And this whole thing's distance was because the coal trestle set here, but I can only get it so high with the grade there, so I dropped the river down pretty far on it. But anyway, this is kind of how it looks. You know, this is the part we're saving right here. I got all the structures off the logging camp that come off. I'm hoping the rest of those details will survive. And then, you know, back here, this is there's the tunnel that goes under the coal mine. And then moving back along here, switch junction is a barren wasteland. All right, so with this thing stripped clean and me kind of getting my second wind, I'm gonna go through and pull the electronics off. I've got an AR1, an AR1, 2 tortoise switch motors, a BD64 block detector, and a DS64 that talks to the NCE system, which I also have to take off. So I'm gonna go through and strip the electronics. And I'm not too concerned about the wiring under there. I've got like 3 different versions of wiring. And at the new place, we'll just put all that in consistently, color-coded, bundled. It's going to be very well organized and not so cobbled together. So let's go through and take those off and see what happens after that. All right, there's your tortoise switch motors, your AR1, your BD4, DCC, DS64. That was the whole brains of the DCC system and the automated turnouts. Just sitting there in a pile right now. But we're gonna be able to reuse all of that stuff no matter what happens at the other end. Well, so you saw I got all the electronics pulled out of this sucker, and now we're gonna go through, and I'm not gonna save any of the wiring per se. I've got a different color code in mind and the way to organize things, so I'm just gonna go snip all the wires where the joints are just so I can separate this thing. Well, rail fans, I think that's about all we got time for in this episode. I sure hope you enjoyed watching me go through this, and next week we're gonna get this thing even closer to looking like this, so make sure you tune in. Hey, subscribe and push the bell icon so you're notified when it comes out. That would be great, wouldn't it? Anyway, again, thank you so much for being here with me today in this episode. My name is Steve Brown, and until next time, rail on, my friends.